A man of ideas. Sherwood Anderson was an American novelist and short story writer. In the world of literature, he is known for his subjective and self revealing works. A Man of Ideas is a story from his most famous short story cycle, Winesburg, Ohio, a group of tales of Ohio's small town life. This work is known as one of the earliest works of modernist literature. The story is set in the fictional town of Winesburg, Ohio, which is sure to be based on the author's childhood memories of Clyde, Ohio. The time of action might be 90s or 1930s, as it is not stated in the story. The story is a third person narrative. It is being told by an unnamed narrator who sees the events from his side and let the reader see what has happened and how the main characters feel. The story describes the events happened to Joe Welling, the main character of the story. He is a small man who lives with his grey, silent mother beyond Main Street. He is widely known for his fits because of frequent and uncontrollable speech. These fits are not physical, they're mental. He stays quiet until a seizure of speech comes, and then he starts spreading strange thoughts and ideas that come to his mind. It scares people. Joe works for the Standard Oil Company as an agent in Whitesburg and surrounding towns. During the story, we see which ideas come to him and how people react to them. The climax is the situation when the main character meets people in West's drugstore and tells them about the growing level of water in the local river. After this, he meets a reporter, George Willard, and this meeting was fatal for him. It helps him to start a new life and experience many new things. For example, he becomes a leader of the Winesburg Baseball Club and wins competition after competition. Due to this, he gets the respect from citizens. One more climax of the story is his relationship with Sarah King. Sarah is a young woman who is as strange as Joy is. They seem to be absolutely different people, and nobody knows why they are together. The denouement comes when the King's family, the brother and the father, come to Joe's apartment. Joe offers to breed up new vegetables and fruits, and surprisingly, the Kings agree. The colloquial language in the story, mostly used by a narrator, is simple in order to highlight the peculiarities of the ordinary town life, such as the name of Wesley Morris house and how the Standard Oil Company worked at that time. The tone and mood of the story are changing through the beginning till the end. The author heightens suspense in the denouement of the story by foreshadowing a negative scene to come. Before the author introduces the King's family, the narrator sets the dismal scene by describing the darkness and empty and silent hallways. The scene is contrasted by the figure of Joe, who is happy. He is carrying an armful of weeds and grasses. Into the dark scene, Joe brings some pieces of nature, and due to this contrast, the author can make tension in this story. The author tackles many significant moral issues, including attitude towards inclusive people, lust for fulfilling one's dreams, rumors in society, and loneliness. I believe that more novel to be dedicated mostly to loneliness. According to the author, all the events happen in a small town of Iceberg, but unlike an obvious small city, there is a lack of human connection in it. So this happens despite the fact that people know each other well and for a very long time. The main character is depicted to spend his days alone with a deep feeling of isolation from his neighbors. He doesn't have any friends. He couldn't connect with people for a long time. People are scared of him and his strange thoughts, his fits in speech too. This loneliness changes the traditional system of communication in small cities and leads to widespread dissatisfaction and also to mental instability of citizens. Throughout the story, loneliness tends to come about as a result of tragedy, failure, or other sad life events. Talking about the main character, he used to live an ordinary life with his silent mother, not being able to make friends. Then loneliness is being coped with, but people still has a thought that you're not being normal. He dates a girl who is as strange as he is, but people still don't understand Joe's vision of life. Although the town is small, it is still not a cozy place for Joe. There is a little irony, I believe. This story has left a sense of sorrow and regret for the main character. How many people who have to deal with difficulties in their lives don't have friends or someone to rely on or share thoughts with. It makes me really sad that some people couldn't socialize because of their peculiarities, and I should also notice that I ignore such people myself, unfortunately. I've tried once to make friends, but I felt really uncomfortable at that time next to people with some mental disabilities, and sometimes I just don't know what to say or how to react to some of their actions or some of their words, which seems strange for me. But I believe that world will change soon, and we could communicate together, that people will discover some ways to communicate with each other, and I really believe that there will be more centers which will teach people how to communicate with people with mental disorders, mental problems, and so on, in order we can live together comfortable.